Hey everybody, it's Bobo the Vulture, and it's time for more Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge by Adam Ryland. Let's click anywhere, let's continue with the normal buttons. We will load our game, which is game 3, and I am just now about to... Let's look at the internet, it's been a while. Actually, maybe it hasn't been. I might have looked at the internet last go around. Ruby Guerrero, the best independent wrestler in the world? I don't know. Jamie Dundee heading to Japan. Jamie Dundee was a star in. How come I can't remember the name? Well, I guess it was USWA. I'm thinking. Was USWA the. Yeah, that's right. USWA was the promotion that Jerry Lawler used to be the like big behind the scenes power for. Hulk Hogan might appear in another show. Ruby Guerrero. Oh, that's right. I remember the thing I was going to check last night. Now, let's immediately go to other promotions. Pardon me. Let's go find World Wrestling Entertainment and look at their roster. Oh, they've got Akio signed. Yeah, Akio is a fucking amazing wrestler. He was involved in probably the single best wrestling match I've ever seen. Um, Certainly the best wrestling match I've ever seen in person. Um, he wrestled just an amazing match with Paul London. Paul London versus Akio. It was it was ridiculous. No, Ivory. Was it Ivory? View worker relationships. Friendship with Jumbo Joe Guns, Trish Stratus, and Mike Preston. Randy Orton. How highly do they think that he is he's a good brawler? I guess I can see that. I rolled right past Shawn Michaels, didn't I? No, I haven't. I haven't gotten to him yet. There we go. Old school face. He's very talented all around, which that's fair to say. He's a very talented guy. He's a blood relative of Lollipop. He's got some problem with the Harris brothers. I was never aware of. Dislikes Paolo and the Undertaker. Well, who'd have known? He is friends with Funaki. Funaki's an awesome wrestler. Just incredible. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Yeah, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sean Walton, and Triple H. Shawn Michaels were all a very tight-knit group of the sort of top wrestlers in the company. Um, hates Bam Bam Bigelow, hates Bret Hart. I guess I can understand that. Wait, he hates Chris Candido. Oh, well, that's fortunately he hates Marty Jannetty. What did Marty Jannetty ever do to him? Marty Jannetty helped propel him to fame. If he hadn't gotten where he would be on the back of Marty Jannetty, being one of the rockers, then where would Shawn Michaels be now? I don't know, but I don't imagine it'll be anywhere super awesome. Let's look at these columns. Combat Zone is regional level. The 5 best interviewers. I believe these will all be guys that have a charisma of 100. And I believe there are more than that many guys that have a charisma of 100. Um, Charisma is the one stat that I tend to value above all others. When you're down at sort of the low level that my guys are, because basically guys can build themselves up a lot more, and you can basically get, if you got a guy who's not particularly well known, but he's got good charisma, if you just give him some time in front of an audience and you give him a mic, you get him up there, he can do promos, he's gonna build his own stock. Mike Tenay, the best announcer in wrestling. Who's gotten the furthest with the least amount of skill? Goldberg, Wood. Okay. Guy scratching under the surface, Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels is a pretty good wrestler. Who is out there? Bill Alfonso, right? Yeah. And Jazz. Alright. And the battleground. Felcher and General and Kame. I mean, Felcher and Connor. Yeah, see, this. It should be a nice. Having these guys getting into a feud, because they're both pretty good interviews. They got pretty good charisma. That, like, those segments should get us some good points. Um, what was I about to look up? Oh, I was going to look up other workers, and I was going to go into search criteria, include people who are under written contract. I just want to see anybody who, hey, get over where I say, who has a charisma of 100. I'm just curious how many there are in the world today. Yeah, there's Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, you look at, yeah, I think Chris Jericho may have the highest stats in the game. He's got, he's got technical and speed skills in the 90s, brawl in the mid 80s, and a charisma of 100. Like Eddie Guerrero has amazing stats as well. Hulk Hogan, not so much, but I mean, he's, Paul Heyman. I mean, strictly a manager. Written contract with WWE. Raven's a good brawler. He's not much in the rest of the departments. Ric Flair, sort of an old school guy. I would have thought they would have given him a higher technical wrestling score than brawling, but you know, what do I know? Wow, they don't really give The Rock that much stock either. I mean, they give him a good score in terms of brawling, just straight up wrestling, which I guess is mostly what he does, but still. He has abilities to do other things, doesn't he? Maybe not. Let's take a look at the finances. We made money last month, so we've just got to keep doing that, and our stock did move up, so helps to put on those good shows. I've heard that even just putting 1 point into, oh, what's going on here? WWE signed Goldust to a written contract. I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't signed to a written contract with WWE. W18 ATV. Let's clear all that. Move on to the next day. Bunch of TV stuff. Who gives a rat's ass? Am I right, folks? Let's keep it moving. All right, next day. Oh, got some mail here. Let's get rid of it. Keep moving. There's not a whole lot going on in the world of wrestling, obviously, when I'm just sort of skipping through this way. Yeah, the game gets a little bit more routine after a while. No, but I've remember reading someplace, because obviously you need to get some background reading in on this, because if you just go by what things say on the menus, it's not always entirely clear what they mean. But I remember reading somewhere that even just putting 1 point into advertising when you're down near the bottom of the barrel will. Oh, NWAW has gotten good news. Television. What do we? Should we send out promo tapes? Let's view the other shows. Okay, so La Lutte FLI is. Oh, I see. I locked the keyboard because I flipped the computer back a little bit too far. Let's see. So. Regional network. That's fair. I mean, if we get a TV show, folks, we would be in fantastic shape. don't tend to think that we would be able to get very far in terms of getting a TV show. Man, we could have tried for America 1 here, because they only require production values of 15%. But we could get a wrestling show on the Learning Channel. Oh, but we'd have to have a risk of... Oh, we get a risk of... We get good risk in prime time or late night. Man, America 1 might be the network for us. The ratings would be the worst in the world, but does that really matter? Basically, the important thing, too, is with TV shows, I believe you do get the full amount of money. So, you get more out of it. ESPN2, I would need much higher production values. The Learning Channel, I would have to reduce the amount of risk I could do. Though, heck, on a local network or America 1, MTV requires much higher production values than I have. There are a couple of networks where theoretically I would meet the minimum threshold if it weren't for the fact that I I don't know whether or not they would give a TV show to what is called a quote unquote what's the harm in sending out a promo tape? Let's view these networks again. Should I send one to local network? Should I send one to America 1? Let me go back again. What are the production values I'm working with right now? Oh, 5. I cannot. I don't think I can actually put a tape out to anybody with production values of 5. If I could move it up to 10, I might be able to try and get a local network or something like that, but yeah, I need to have something. Alright, so that's a pipe dream we'll look at another time. Once we've got money rolling in again, we can try something. Oh, what's going on here? Next. MLW have risen to the national level. Oh, so they're competing with TNA now. MLW. They signed CM Punk, Dick Togo, Ken Shamrock, John Finnegan. You'll notice that they signed Vicky Guerrero. Okay. For a minute there, I thought it was Vicky Guerrero, and I was a little confused because I didn't think she was a really big. I mean, she is the wife of Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero passed away some number of years back. Kaz Hayashi. Kaz. All right, NWA have signed Lash LaRue to a written contract. Simon Diamond is going his different way. You know, if it weren't for the fact that there's a remote possibility that on any of these given days there's a piece of news that I have to know, like for example that something has happened to my organization, and the only way the game knows to notify me is through the email system. If it weren't for that, I would just basically go through the entire month, then just check all the email in one big dump. But there's the possibility, anyway, that that might prove to be a bad idea. Let's go to the first one here. I'm guessing these are all going to be... Yeah. These are all just going to be the ratings of everybody else's show. I don't care about everybody else's show. I just want to know how well I'm doing. I'm a selfish person that way. Well, I mean, in the context of this game, certainly. You could also argue that I'm a selfish person, broadly speaking. Um, You could argue it. I'd like it if you didn't. Yeah, delete the message. Oh man, gotta admit, I have a new. This is my new little tiny baby computer, and it's got a touch screen, and it does make this process a little faster than mousing around. Once you get used to it, yeah. I say, and then immediately, apparently, my finger misses the big yes button. Well, can't be flawless. If it were flawless, I would have paid more for it. All right. Nice job, everybody. Good job. What do we got going here? Not much? Okay. Then let's continue moving our way along. I know this game is pretty much just, number crunching simulator thing, but I really do enjoy it. Looks like we're getting to our pay-per-view for the month. Check on the Extreme Mail. It'll be tomorrow, right? What's in the Extreme Mail? Let's clear all that. Let's look at our roster. Yes. So actually, I should see what is Conrad is 53. His overness has gone way up, um, which is nice in a way. It means that people want to see him. It's also bad in a way because it means that he will probably start to be more noticed by other leagues who think they might want to sign him. I mean, I like him because he works cheap. I mean, he's got above average stats, not necessarily exceptional. And I mean, Conrad may be a real living, breathing human being out there somewhere in the world. And I don't mean to denigrate you as a person. You may be a great wrestler. You may be a great person. In this game, you are a bunch of numbers, and that is the only context I have for you. But let's go ahead and, well, let's look at the event history, because I don't want to make the exact same show we just did. And it's been a day or two since I put one of these together. So let's see. I had Boss and Felcher fight Conrad and Indikame. Oh, okay. What was the show before that? Did I have? Oh no. So that was a money-saving show. I see. Let's go ahead and. I did not. Oh, I had El Majito fight Fast Eddie. What if I had El Majito fight Marcos? Or something like that. Let's go to the next day. Actually, it will erase the booking, I know. But let's look at the event history here. We used our cheapest guys. Oh, wait, what is the... Oh, this was the kiss-off for that show. And we still made money, so we did a previous show. Okay, let's do the next show. This was Felcher versus General and Indikame. Let's make that the main event this week. Then close out of that. And El Majito did not wrestle last week. How about we make him wrestle this week? Anyways, let's book a match. 1-versus-1. Singles. This is going to be a rematch. It's going to be Felcher versus Indikame. Come on. There is no title on the line. The result will be Felcher wins. And Felcher is going to win by cheating. Yes, yes he is. And then the aftermath will be that they will brawl to the back because that's how they do. This is to continue their feud. Now then, I could give Anthony Bartlett Jr. and Conrad a rest, but they both work cheap, and at this point I've built them up to be big stars. So I kind of feel like they should be somewhere in the show. I mean, I could start the show with an interview from Conrad because people love listening to Conrad talk. So he's pretty much just going to be out here to warm up the crowd. None. He is self-promoting. Actually, wait a minute. Let's figure out what match I'm going to put him in. What heels do I have other than Anthony Bartlett who could do a decent match with him? Maybe Axel Law. You'd think I'd have a better handle on who my guys are, but I just don't. Jarrell Clark? Not so much. Oh, Marcos asked for a raise, and he's actually going to need to get more money because he made more than $10,000. So I might have to stop using him. Offer him his release. Maybe renegotiate his contract, see if I can talk him down. Seems like either Axel Law or maybe Jarrell Clark. Axel Law is probably the way to go. So let's put that match here. It is going to be a match, 1 versus 1, single match. It's going to be Conrad. Sorry, it's going to be Axel Law versus Conrad. And there's not going to be a title on the line. And the result will be... Let's give this one to Axel Law. Conrad is not losing this match. He's not in his league. No, fine. You know what? I'm not about to piss off Conrad. Conrad can win cleanly. And the aftermath will be nothing. And the purpose of the match is just to have a good match. I don't need to use this match to put Conrad over. Conrad is just fine. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and make this an interview segment now with a single worker starring Conrad, in which he is targeting Axel Law to hype the match they're going to have later. Like, later tonight, I'm going to take on Axel Law. Try and build up some interest in what's going on later on down the show. You know what I mean? Now then, let's also make sure we have a match with Anthony Bartlett. Who could we have that would wrestle Anthony Bartlett? What face do we have that has good technical skill? We have Akiman. El Majita is also a relatively skilled technical wrestler. Actually, have a lot of pretty skilled technical guys. Jeremy V's not bad. Jeremy V would be in Bartlett's league, possibly. Not so much Majik, but let's go ahead and put let's see, 56. He's only 22 over. What is Akimon's condition? Okay. Jeremy V is actually looking a little rough. He's... Well, no, Jeremy V, actually. Whose condition was I looking at? Is anybody hurt right now? No, everybody's in tip-top condition. Let's go ahead and put Jeremy V in a squash match with Anthony Bartlett Jr. then. Let's book this match. 1-versus-1. Singles. Anthony Bartlett Jr. versus Jeremy V. And there's no title on the line. Anthony Bartlett Jr. is going to win. And he's going to win clean. And then after that, what is he going to do? But a beatdown, because he's a meanie. He's going to put himself over that way. And the purpose of this is just to put on a good match. There we go. And now I can have whatever I want to before that. Let's have this segment be just right before he goes in. He's going to do an interview in which Anthony Bartlett's going to do an interview right here, in which he targets Jeremy V to hype the match that they are about to have. So who do I want as my curtain jerking act here? Axel Law is really not over. El Machito is not very over either. He's a mid-carder. Could have El Machito and Fast Eddie take each other on there of roughly the same overness. I could have Majik and see, you're 20 over, he's 27 over. What if I had Magic and Jarrell Clark put on a match? How's about that? They'll put on a good match, no one will care. I know, it's bad. What I could do, if it weren't for the fact that it would sort of tie people into the same matches over and over, I could just start setting up feuds for everybody. Select the title, no. I feel like with the amount of time, we can only do one show a month. I feel like trying to stretch. Let's see. Let's go ahead and give Magic this one. Magic wins clean. And they're just out there to put on good match. So that's all that's happening there. Alright, now we just need some interview segments. Are either Magic or Jarrell Clark good talkers? Jarrell Clark sure isn't. Magic's okay. Let's go back here. Let's start the show with an interview. This one is going to be Felcher. Actually, no, let's start with Indicame. I forget if that's what we did last time. I don't think it is, but I can't be bothered to check because it takes entirely too much effort to go that far back. Excuse me. Let's have an interview right here. Single worker interview with Felcher. And he is going to be targeting Inti. We named the dog Intiana. Let's continue that feud. And we'll go ahead and what we said Majik was not bad. Actually, how is Axel Law? He's not great either. Yeah, pretty much needs to be Magic. You can have anything that you desire. Magic. So yeah, you guys, just so you guys know, Magic's gonna be out here spitting some rhymes. Presumably he's going to do his interview in the style of a rap. All right, we've got a nice little show set up. Let's hope that it makes money and is good. Hyping his match against Axel Law, and Kami's building up a feud with Felcher. Let's see what our opening match looks like. Crowd doesn't care, but it's a pretty good match, so it gets an average rating. Anthony Bartlett Jr. hyping a match with Jeremy V. Or is it maybe Jeremy the Fifth? And it's a decent match. The crowd is slightly more into it than they were for the opening match, which gives us a slightly above average rating. Felcher, see, people like this Felcher segment. He's talking about into Camus. Axel Law and Conrad put on an okay match with an okay crowd reaction for an okay overall rating. Magic, you're a drag. You're a drag on the team here. But not so bad. Holy crap, look at the match they had. Look at the match they had, guys. 91% match. The fight is finished. They start brawling to the back. That's a red hot way to end the show, folks. 61%. I don't think that's the best show we've ever had in history, but it's damn good. Damn good. So smooth. First, you just got done with a program with Anthony Bartlett Jr. Y'all's styles were fine, but look. There we go. The Cornucopia of Violence was attended by 36 people. We made $360 from ticket sales. FLI TV got a 7.8 TV rating for La Lutte FLI. Let's go again. Samu. Oh, making a difference. Principal Pound has agreed to an open contract with FLI. Principal Pound is the one who's in charge of the Pound Puppies. Larry Zbyszko, the living legend. What do the finances look like after that? Since we haven't paid whatever magical extra bullshit production costs we will get, we look like we're making a lot of money. Of course, we also haven't paid our staff for the month either. It's entirely possible we may still just barely cut even or just barely not cut even. What kind of, oh, holy, what's going on here? Next, Thanksgiving Thunder. ROH have risen to national level. Man, a lot of the cult level or regional shows. Yeah, there's a big rising tide in the industry right now. Kaz is going to ROH. Spiffy Sean Styles. Amazing Red. La Parka. He was the chairman of WCW. He was a luchador that dressed in like a skeleton costume and hit people with a steel chair, so he's called the chairman of WCW. It was amusing. Headhunter A. There's probably a Headhunter B, and they are the tag team of the Headhunters. For those who don't know, occasionally that is the level of creativity you would get with tag team member names. There was a pretty popular tag team in ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, for a while, called the Pitbulls, and their names were Pitbull 1 and Pitbull 2. And the one that they called Pitbull 1 was injured for a while, and they had a brief singles run for a guy that they were calling Pitbull 2 the whole time. Alright. A whole bunch of folks moved to the national level here. Our public image is now 64, so we're not doing bad either. And it's December, everyone. Let's go to the first message here. Next. Osaka Pro have announced the touring workers. Ron Killings is going to have an open contract. J.R. Ryder, Matt Stryker, Trent Acid. I'm increasing my wage demands by 10% per appearance as I believe I'm being underpaid. Matt Laurent, superb work. Our public image is improving every month. Good work. Our money is increasing. We're still way in the hole. We're still more in the hole than we were when we started. But we made 4,000 this month, guys. Even though, yeah, I guess we made we spent 1,000 fewer dollars on worker costs. I must have, yeah, I must have sent in somebody who wrestles for 8 grand as opposed to 9 grand. Now let's look at our roster and pray that what Felcher was saying does not actually make any difference. Marcos, if you want 12 grand in appearance, I'm pretty much not going to be able to talk with you. I'm not going to be able to have you around. This may require some soul searching, folks. When we come back next time, there may have to be some shakeups in our wrestler lineup. But for right now, this is Bobo the Vulture, and this is Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll speak to all of you next time. Bye for now.